Thank you, Zeno. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So in this session, we'll be seeing the changes and new inclusions that have been done from feature operators perspective in this release. First, let's see the changes in some of the existing feature-based operators. For example, the image to ground operator was available in even today. So we have been working in moving to perform some analysis.
Just to interject you here, this is the significance of this. Although they are, I mean, these are very important.
These are the new operators that are available in this particular category, and these operators actually intersect once in the input feature file. Moving on, so again, these are the operators that are strictly focused on geometry and are available under geometry manipulation category. But the difference with the previous category is the output from these operators would be an effectively replaced geometry, that is an alteration of the geometry in the input feature file. So moving on, geometry measurement category. So this is the category that holds the operators from Imagine Objective. So basically from the Imagine Q system of Imagine Objective. So these operators help to infer what a geometry represents by measuring a parameter of the geometry. The same measurement is added as a new attribute in the output. Now let's move on to creation of a workflow using some of these new operators, and this workflow is mostly probably it would cater to the need of the parcel management. So basically a feature extraction workflow. So this is the input image that we'll be using, and we'll be extracting the buildings from this image. And for this, we'll be using FLS segmentation operator. So for that, let me drag the FLS segmentation operator into the Imagine Spatial Model Editor. So this requires an input file. So file input. To create segments using this FLS segmentation functionality, it depends upon some relative weights which actually influence the resultant segments. So under this relative weights, probably I'll be just using texture and size, and maybe limit the size to 10,000. I'll just create an output. But maybe I'll just not create an output and just create a temp file for this operator. And connect this to a raster input operator so that this would go ahead as an input to the next operator, that is probably I'll just try to preview at each and every level what kind of input that we are seeing for each and every operator. Hopefully that should be quick. We just preview the output from FLS segmentation. So I need to just give an input file for that. It has been given and process is running, so hopefully we'll be getting an output from the input image that has been divided into different segments. So the output of this operator would be a thematic image. So this is how the output looks like from SLS segmentation. So the next thing what we would want to do is to convert this thematic image into vector layer. For that, let me use convert to features operator. And that is how the output from convert to features looks like. So if you try to zoom in and see the lines or the polygons are not that straight. I mean, they have a kind of a zigzag effect. So let's try to simplify the geometry by using a new feature operator in this release, which is called simplify geometry. Maybe I'll use a tolerance of 0.5. And should have, yeah. If we try to zoom in and check the two different outputs, one from the convert to features and the simplify geometry operator, we kind of can see that the geometry has been simplified. I mean, that zigzag effort in the previous output is now gone to some extent. So the next thing that that probably we'll try to do is, after simplifying the geometry, one of the operator from imagine objective functionality is called compute rectangularity. So this actually creates a new attribute with the rectangularity component. Let me quickly show you once we have the output, the attribute in the attribute table, one of the column that gets generated rectangularity. So this is the new column that gets added for this. So once that is done, here I'm trying to filter these features based on the rectangularity component and also the area. So for that, I'll try to measure area of all the features in this input file. Again, the output from this operator should have a column in the attribute table having having the area of all the features in the output generated. So we had a rectangularity column added, and now we have an area column. Now that we have, based on these two, rectangularity and measure area, I'll use a filter by attributes operator. and use the area somewhere between 100 and 300, maybe. Sorry, that should be greater than 100, less than 300, and maybe include also the rectangularity part, which should be probably greater than 0.5. Oops. That would probably be the last thing that would have expected.
Stiamo seguendo il training e accreditato. Terrell, sì.
We recreate the ones that we've already seen. That's FLS segmentation, connecting to the raster input, and then converting to features. Once that is done, we'll simplify the geometry. Yes, 0.5 tolerance. Next is compute rectangularity and then measure area. Once we have the area, we'll filter the output. We'll filter by the attributes of the output, and the last thing that we would do is create a bounding box out of the filtered features. So let me preview here. The output is image, and we have the filter by attributes options here. Only take a while to generate the segments.
Pramod, while we are waiting for the process, there is a question: are these new operators available in Spatial Model Editor when installed with the GeoMedia and not Imagine? Because the answer is that it's available when you install your Imagine. They first what we call the feature pack, and it comes in free of charge, so it is available to all Imagine users. What license level? There's no, it's essential, right? Yeah. So in the future, and they were discussing in the future, as we put in more your vector feature pack into the software, we will consider additional charges, additional licenses. And somebody asked a question again, yesterday, same question, can we read your paths? The question is, the answer is yes, we've been able to read that since version 2016.
Possibly 16.1, I don't know, it's just I certainly know it's in my installation of ERDAS IMG 2016, which includes 16.1 update.
Right.
So it's
yeah.
like I'm having some problems to the license, connecting the license server. Let me just quickly close this.
Sto utilizzando quest'altro operatore, però non ha un problema, ha detto che ha un problema di
So I guess I have already created a model, so I'll just execute that model. And
segreto.
so in here, just give you come on.
Mickey and the hosting side. Approve our host.
Sorry for the delay. I mean, it was just working before the training. So.
Vabbè, ti evito l'audio. Una macchina è scivolata. Sta tentando di andare giù.
Let me try once more. Trying to create a fellow segmentation.
La gravina. Guarda, guarda.
part, you see that there are set of contents of. So in the first part,